It's the 2nd of October 2024, and yeah, today I want to have a quick look at Sir Queer Starmer, the hypocritical, lying Sir Queer Starmer. And the reason I want to look at him is because I have never seen a government, anybody's government, come into power and piss people off as quickly as Keir Starmer has. I mean, it started with the winter fuel allowance cuts. Well, it didn't. It started with the riots and the fact that everybody who disagrees with Queer Starmer is a right-wing thug, according to Queer Starmer himself. And then it went on to the winter fuel allowance cuts. He cut the winter fuel allowance for the pensioners. And, you wouldn't mind this if there was actually a reason for it. But we can afford to give billions of pounds to Ukraine. We can afford to continue giving billions of pounds and defending Israel and all these other countries that we defend and send money to every single month or every single week. And yet we can't afford to look after our own pensioners. It's absolutely pathetic. And I know that some pensioners are comfortable, financially comfortable, and don't need the winter fuel allowance, as some pensioners have actually told me that themselves. But that doesn't really apply to all pensioners, does it? Just because there's some wealthy pensioners in the country doesn't mean to say that all pensioners are wealthy. There is plenty of pensioners that are relying on these winter allowance cuts, and there are plenty of pensioners that are going to be cold this winter, especially if we have a particularly cold winter. And Queer Starmer's got no problem at all taking winter fuel allowance off these. Instead of taking winter fuel allowance from the pensioners, why doesn't he tax the energy companies more? So they're paying a fairer rate of tax, and then he can put that. But now Keir Starmer's an elitist. He's got no interest in taking money off the rich or off corporations. All he's interested in taking money off is the poorer and working classes in the United Kingdom. This government are literally trying to get blood out of a stone when there's plenty of rich people in the world that can afford to pay more tax. There's plenty of rich people in the United Kingdom that can afford to pay a little bit more tax. But now, instead of going after the rich, he's decided he's got to go after the pensioners and the working classes. What is the difference between Keir Starmer and a Conservative politician at the end of the day? Like I say, he's actually worse than the Conservative politicians. I mean, he's continuing with the benefit sanctions that the Conservatives introduced. He's cutting winter fuel allowance. He's an absolute scumbag. He's taking money to Ukraine. He's fighting for Ukraine. He's literally destroying the UK. Anybody that disagrees with him is a far-right thug. But I find it really fucking... Well, I say I find it funny. I don't mean funny as in ha-ha. But it's funny how when COVID-19 was on, back in the year 2020... the government seemed to have an endless supply of money then. They had enough money to spend £36 billion on a fucking app that was only used for a few fucking months or a year for the most. They had the money to pay people to stay at home. Universal credit went up, and the homeless was removed from the streets and put into the hotels, all paid for by the taxpayers. And they also had the money to pay for the vaccines and the testing equipment. So it's funny how they seem to have a little money tree at the time when they wanted us to do what they was telling us to do, when they was forcing us to do what they was telling us to do. They had an endless supply of money then. It seems like they had money to throw at everything. Like I say, 36 billion on test and trace. Yes, billion, not million. 36 billion on creating a fucking app. I mean, you could have... with that money, we could have financed a clean-up of Birmingham, because Birmingham, I mean, it's so bad now in Birmingham, and I know what Birmingham's like because I've worked all over Birmingham in the last few years, and it is an absolute shithole, and it's an absolute disgrace how bad it is. I mean, you're walking down some streets in Birmingham. I was working in a place called Hockley, about a couple of miles out of the city, and there was piles of rubbish that was bigger than me. You know what I mean? Like higher than me, and fucking spread all over people's properties and everything, and empty properties that have just been left standing for years and years. I mean, Birmingham is an absolute disgrace, and it's so bad that it's even now got people in the United States You know, it's going viral in the United States how bad Birmingham is. I mean, it's absolutely shameful. But this government apparently have got no money to fix all that. But they've got £36 billion to pass to the mates to create a test and trace app that nobody's interested in, that nobody wanted, and nobody used, or at least nobody with any sense used at the time. I mean, you know, just absolutely ridiculous and absolute scumbaggery. But the last thing is about Sir Queer Starmer that I want to look at is this massive news story that was rumoured to be coming out about him. Like, the media have got something big on Sir Queer Starmer apparently, and we don't know what that is. I mean, there's a lot of people that are guessing, and there's a lot of theories about what it potentially could be, but nobody's really 100% sure what it is. But the reason that this information is being kept secret, according to so-called conspiracy theorists on the internet, is because the Sun newspaper and Sir Queer Starmer actually apparently made a deal. If Sir Queer Starmer scraps the second part of the Leveson inquiry, which is an inquiry looking at the corruption, at the phone hacking scandal, particularly of the mainstream media that was performed in Britain, then the Sun wouldn't release Sir Queer Starmer's secrets. And that seems to be accepted now. That seems to be what's happening. The media have decided to leave Sir Queer's secret alone, Sir Queer Starmer's secret alone, and in return for having the Leveson inquiry scrapped. Absolutely disgraceful. This is from a man that says that Boris Johnson was corrupt and self-serving and called Boris Johnson all these names, when he's a million times worse. I can't think of anything that Boris Johnson done that was that bad. And my problem is with this hiding secrets to protect Sir Queer Starmer, like the mainstream media are doing, is why did it, surely Matt Hancock, I know they're saying that this is something to do with Sir Queer Starmer's private life, but Matt Hancock, when he was having an affair, they soon released that information, and that was to do with his private life. I know that they covered up a lot of information about Boris Johnson's private life, but they also released a lot as well at the time. So, why is Sir Queer Starmer being protected by the mainstream media, when the mainstream media, if they had this on Donald Trump, this would be out and it would be printed and it would be being read by the masses now? But because it's Sir Queer Starmer and the mainstream media are working together with Sir Queer Starmer, then all of a sudden this information is now being suppressed. The media are not reporting facts, or at least recent things that they have found out about him. So to me, if Sir Queer Starmer's got to go and this information should come out, he's the Prime Minister of the country. It's not like he's just another person. He's the Prime Minister of the country. And a lot of people are speculating on the internet that the rumour is that he's gay, that Sir Queer Starmer is actually gay. And that is the news that the media are covering up, that he's gay and he's living a double life. Basically, he's presenting to us like he's a married man with a family and shit, and he's using his family as he's using his family as an excuse to get out of so many things at the moment. He's using his son's GCSEs as an excuse for taking freebies, and he's using any excuse that he can for him to take a freebie. No freebies for us, because one law for them, one rule for them, one rule for us. But like I say, is an absolute disgrace. The media in this country are an absolute disgrace. They're not impartial. They've got an agenda. They've got a narrative, and anybody or anything that goes against that narrative has to be cancelled to protect their agenda and to continue the spread of this absolute woke nonsense that is being spread by the media at the moment. I mean, this is absolutely disgraceful behaviour from both the mainstream media and Sir Queer Starmer. But yeah, I'm going to leave it at that anyway for this one. Thanks for watching. I'm out.